It's about time the Baltimore Ravens shut the G'day guys, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia at my local time of filming, 10:28 p.m. after a massive day of work. And I was thinking, Ravens week's coming up. I'm looking around the comments. I'm seeing all kinds of comments on Facebook, YouTube, in the show today as well on the AFC North round table with Sam. He's now the new host for the Ravens. There are still the non-believers. There are non-believers for the Steelers. Apparently, we have to almost beat God or, win 10 games in a row, win 14 games in a row, win games by 21 points over the Commanders. Although the Commanders was the first time you saw Jaden Daniels with a bit of pressure, only ran 5 yards. We came back to win 1 point. Crazy game how that we were down by 10 points. The Steelers got the Commanders in their first loss at home. They're now 7-3. Some people just aren't believing. They're not taking the Steelers for real, but that's all right. It plays into our hands. It plays into the underdog mentality and that role. But we love it. We love being the Steelers that way. We're 7-2, and the world's against us. We're minus 4.5 points or 3.5 points at home, at Heinz Field, Acrisure, whatever you want to say. When we're underdogs at home, the Steelers will fire up and they will take care of the Ravens. The Steelers, over the last 4 years, as you guys know, over the last 4 years are 7-1. There was a one game that Trubisky threw 3 interceptions. We've had their number. But over these 4 years, and I'm going to read a few stats too, some Lamar Jackson stats as well in a short moment. Over the 4 years, you've heard excuses by Ravens fans. Oh, we didn't play Lamar Jackson. Oh, we didn't have this guy. Oh, when we beat you, it was the last week of the season, and we didn't play our best players, or we didn't have the right cornerback, or our starting running back was out. Well, that's all you hear when you bring up the 7-1. The Steelers have beaten them 7 times and lost 1 in the last 4 years. We've been sweeping them, except the one game with Trubisky. All you hear is Ravens excuses. That's all you hear. You didn't play this guy. You didn't play that guy. So I thought, let's talk about 3 things. I'm going to bring it up. 3 things that I want to hear from the Ravens fans. 3 things I want to see happen so that there's 0 excuses. And here they are. So I did a tweet. No, my apologies. Did a post on my Steelers Nation Australia Facebook page. You guys can go find that too if you want to. It's up to you. Right. So I did a thing. Yeah. 3 things I want to see so I can hear no excuses, right? From Steel Nation Australia. That's me. 3 things. 1, I want a healthy Raven team. Now, I do understand that at this point in the season, there are many players down. Highsmith for us is down. There are other guys going through injuries or other guys coming back from injuries, right? It's football. And you're bound to get hit and bruised and battered, right? So when I say a healthy team, as best we can, I want to see a healthy Raven team to the best of their ability. I want to see Derrick Henry healthy. I want to see Lamar Jackson healthy. I want to see Justice Hill, Zay Flowers. I don't care. I'm not even sure who's out. I want to see Rashad Bateman healthy. I want to see Marlon Humphrey, or is it Roquan Smith, Kyle Hamilton? I don't know if he's got an injury. I want to see the Baltimore Ravens healthy, because then you can't use that as an excuse. That's number 1. Number 2 is Lamar Jackson at quarterback. And I'm going to read some stats as well. So over the last few years, I believe Lamar Jackson has only played the Steelers 4 times. And I've got a stat here, and I'll try and bring it up, because this is another thing we talk about with our Steelers versus the Ravens and the 7-1. Oh, the only reason you won that game is because we played Tyler Huntley. Or the only reason you won that game is because you played X quarterback or Y quarterback or whoever it may be. So I always hear these excuses from that direction. And I've got some stats here from Dell Lolly, and I'll bring it up right now. So Dell Lolly says Lamar Jackson by opponent career versus starters, right? Apparently that Lamar Jackson's played 4 games against the Steelers, and he's 1 win, 3 losses, but versus all the other opponents, he's 64-19, That's pretty wild, eh? He's a winning quarterback. He's a great quarterback, but against us has a losing record, so 1-3. But everyone else is 64-19. The team points per game. Lamar Jackson, when he's versing us, is 19 points per game, almost 20. But versus all the other opponents is 29.1. Right? Past TDs, he's 4 TDs and 7 interceptions. And on the flip side, he's 144-40, so a much better ratio. And giveaways per game versus Steelers, he's 2.5, fumbling and throwing interceptions. Versus other opponents, he's 0.7. Passer rating is also 66.3 against the Steelers, and he's 103 against the other opponents. There you go. Welcome back. So, with that being said, I want to see a healthy team, and I also want to see Lamar Jackson, because that's all we really hear from the Ravens side is you didn't play a healthy team and you didn't play Lamar Jackson. Those are the two things so far I want to see. And the Steelers so far have Lamar Jackson's number. He's only beaten us once out of 4 times. And those stats that I just read to you, 19 points per game, and his pass to interception ratio is 4-7, because TJ Watt and the outside linebacker, Highsmith, will be out, but you'll see Nick Herbig probably come back, or you'll see Preston Smith. They seem to have a plan and a scheme to get to Lamar Jackson, get him confused, get him rushed, sack the quarterback, make him throw errors, and when he runs, and I know he's been running less this year, but when he does run, TJ Watt's ready to punch the ball out or hit him hard and cause a fumble, or Minka's there to scoop it up. So there's a lot of pressure from the Steelers defense putting on the number 1 overall offense, scoring 29 points per game. But recent history says that you're 1-3 and you only scored 19 points per game against the Steelers in this rival state right now, Steelers versus Ravens. So those are the first 2 things I want to see. Lastly, I want to see is zero controversy over the flags. So here it is. Healthy team, Lamar Jackson at quarterback, and also zero controversy over flags. And what I mean by that is I don't want this game to come down to a piece of laundry on the field, a yellow flag, or there's a certain call that the game is, let's say the game is 16-13 or 17-13. Steelers are winning 17-13 or 17-16. And it comes down to a flag, or there's a play where it does go the Steelers' way, or the Ravens can, see it a certain direction, right? And go, oh, hang on a minute, that should have been our flag, or you guys are cheating. I don't want the Ravens fans to blame the refs. So the refs call the game down the middle. Don't throw any controversy flags for either team, for the Steelers or for the Ravens. Don't do any of that. Let's call the game right down the middle, and don't leave it to the last play or third last play or second last play, where the refs are controlling the game and causing a controversy where the Ravens fans can use that as an excuse, right? With all these things being said, I want a healthy team, a Raven team. I want Lamar Jackson at quarterback, zero controversies over flags, all these things. So when the Steelers win, when the Pittsburgh Steelers win by a field goal or a touchdown right near the end or whatever it may be, or the Steelers could win by 13 points. Who knows? I've got the Steelers winning regardless. I think they can beat this team. I think the whole NFL and AFC North and Ravens fans are taking this lightly again at home. But when the Steelers win, this should equal Ravens fans having zero excuses, which then would mean it's about time the Ravens shut the fuck up. Yeah? If all those things happen, I want a healthy Raven team. I want Lamar Jackson quarterback. I want zero controversy on flags. All these things. Then Ravens fans have zero excuses. And you need to shut the fuck up. Yeah? Promise me that? Like, can you go with that? The Steelers are 1-7-1. If you have a healthy team, if you're meant to control the AFC North, like you've been saying, if you have this crazy offense scoring 29 points per game, but your secondary is very weak, which is 32, Russ Wilson might be able to carve you up at home. I want to hear this. Like, I want to hear there's zero excuses, because you have your team ready. You're meant to demolish the Steelers and run over us like we're a piece of cake. If that happens, then if all 3 of those things happen, healthy team, Lamar Jackson quarterback, your Pro Bowler MVP quarterback, no flags that control the game, healthy Raven team. Then when the Steelers win and you have zero excuses, Ravens fans, dead set, you need to shut the fuck up.